Welcome to On Today's Ride. We're up in northwest Wales in the Cycnant Pass. Fantastic spot. Stayed here the night, and this is the view I wake up to. Looking down the pass and out to sea. And we're going to head up into the hills here into Conwy Mountain, do some fantastic cross-country mountain biking, and then we're going to face my nemesis. Let's go. Get up this bank. I'll just get a look back at the view. The biker. We're going this way through the gate. Plenty of gait and styles on this one. I think I'd like to try this with a knee bike because they're so heavy, but I can get up and over with my mountain bike, no problem. View starts to open out a little bit. Little pond. So we're up in the hills above Conwy, which is very North Wales, right on the north coast, northwest corner of North Wales. Pretty little town with a castle and old walls. Maybe we'll get a few shots of that later. And a good fish and chip shop, which I availed myself of last night. And the best camp spot ever, I think. One of the best. Really superb. This ride we're going to do is, I love it up here. It's really good cross country. I know some of my downhill mountain bike friends turn their noses up at cross country, but I love cross country, especially when it's as pretty as this. We'll have great views, we'll look back over the ocean. It's warm out, it's a little bit grey, but should stay dry. We're having a decent summer. Going to be a superb ride. It's not a long ride, it's only about 50k, but there's a lot of climbing, about 1500 meters, and a lot of it on steep, techie, i.e. technical, loose, rocky terrain, so it'll be slow going. Even though it's 50k, going to be at least 4 hours. And then, right at the end, my nemesis, Afon Ddu, the Black River. Nice downhill now, overlooking the Conwy Valley, and then all the way back up. And now onto a rockier track, but still pretty smooth. This valley, the Conwy Valley, should be more famous than it is really, because I would say not only are there some of the steepest and toughest climbs in North Wales, but some of the steepest and toughest climbs in the UK. Admittedly, they're all fairly short, but they are very, very steep. Afon Ddu, the Black River, defeated me, the only climb to ever defeat me on my road bike. I just cannot quite get up it. Tried on the gravel bike last year, failed, got a little bit further. Going to try on the mountain bike, much easier gearing, we'll go into that a bit later. But yeah, as I say, even before we get there, we got a few other horrors to take on first. A little bit of paved road, but very quiet paved road. I haven't seen another vehicle, only a couple of cyclists. Coming into Trevorrow, home of the fearsome Cowlid climb, which we're about to do. So back in the day, not that long ago, the Cowlid and the two other climbs in this valley, we're going to do another one today, Bulka, Loyal Ven and the IGI, were considered the three toughest climbs, some of the toughest climbs in the UK, I'd say. But that was before the Black River was discovered. And also one more, the Rowan Youth Hostel climb, which sounds fairly innocent. It's anything but. Okay, I can get up it, but it is touch and go. It is brutally steep for a long time. You've got to really fight the bike to get up it. But as I say, I can't get up that one. Black River, very different story. All right, coming into the village now, and then we're going to turn right, and immediately it just goes uphill. Kill your speed, haven't got a lot. Into the start of the climb, straight into 20%. Gets even worse than that after a bit, and then it just goes on and on and on. Fair old effort. I don't stop for many things on a climb, but wild raspberries is one of them. It's about 3k long, 3 kilometers. May not sound much. Wait till you hear how short Afon Ddu is, but I've only done 500 meters so far, and it's just been so steep the whole way. And we're about to hit the apex, the steepest part, hairpin up in the woods here. And here it is. It'll look flat on camera as ever, but flat it is not. Now I've got easier gearing on the mountain bike. I'll go into that, I'll do a little nerd alert at the top, but even so, gearing only helps you so much. 24%, getting stiffer. Blissfully short though, this ramp, before it just goes back to a mere 20. This is the worst. Whew. And then you might think you were through the worst of it. Oh no. Still another nearly 2.5 kilometers to go. So this house is still for sale. That's a cyclist's nightmare. Imagine having to finish every ride by riding up Cowlid. No thank you. Must have superb views over the valley though. Out of the trees now, view definitely opening up. Last kilometre or so, still steep, but not quite so steep. Gate marks the finish post, open for once. Whew. Up over to Thin Cowlid Lake, and we're going to drop down a bit and then do a really superb route following the pipeline, the water pipe from the lake, which you can probably just make out in the distance. I think it's time for I don't think I've ever done a nerd alert over my mountain bike before, so this will be new to a lot of people. Anyway, so this is my full suspension mountain bike. I won't go into details too much, but like many things, especially in the world of cycling, there are subdivisions. So there's mountain bikes, and the main division is what's known as hardtail or full sus, full suspension. My glasses are about to blow off in the wind. So a hardtail only has suspension forks. Mine is a full sus, full suspension, so it's got suspension at the back as well, which makes it a lot easier to go down rough, rocky drops and paths. It's a Cube, German online company, very good. I bought it from someone a few years ago now. He'd hardly ridden it and then injured himself and had to give up cycling, sadly, but I took full advantage of that and got this at a very good price. Carbon frame, aluminium triangle at the back where you need a bit of strength. 150 mil of suspension for the real nerds up front, 140 rear. Gearing is a 1x12 SRAM system. So I've got a 32 tooth chainring on the front, and I got a 50 on the back, so I've got a 3250 gear, and that's what I'm hoping will get me up Afon Ddu. And then the other little trick that the mountain bikes have nowadays is what's called a dropper post. So I'll just show you that. But a dropper post means I can push a button, and using my weight, it'll be my bum on the seat can go down. So that's very useful for drops where you want your weight down and back, so you're not tilting over the saddle. And then when you come back to a flat bit or an uphill, then I just push the button, lift my bum, bang, the seat goes up. Great invention of the last few years. Anyway, let's get back to the cycling. Following the pipeline now all the way back down to the valley floor, and then all the way back up again. A few gates to negotiate as well. So all the way down into the valley floor, turn round, and then back up Afon Ddu, the Black River, over this bridge, little car park on the right, and on the left my nemesis. This is the entrance, the start of Afon Ddu, the Black River. Starts right here. Here we go then, attempt number 4 or 5. I'll put the video up in the description of last year's attempt, failed attempt, where I got 10 meters further. This goes straight into ultra steep ramp. Ooh, like about 24-25%. Eases very gently, slightly, then back up. So only 350 meters long. Trouble is, you're absolutely into the red right from the get-go. Got to find some way of recovering. There we are, 27%, 28. Heart's at maximum. Can hardly speak, but it will ease a little bit. Just gotta hope I can get my heart rate down, and these easier mountain bike gears let me recover a little bit before the final stretch. It's the final ramp that always gets me. It's not that I can't ride it, I have ridden it, but I can't ride it having ridden the first bit. I've had to have a rest to get up that last bit. So will these gears, 3250, be enough to allow me to rest before we hit that final corner? Well, not right now, because bang, straight back up, 20 plus. And then this bit just keeps on going. Purple on the computer, that's very rare. Purple is like ultra steep. Okay, final ramp, 24. Right on the tip of my saddle. Out of the saddle, back down. Can't even look down at the screen. Oh, he's off. 31. Oh man. Literally 20 meters from the top. Damn. So I had it. I mean, it wasn't quite 20 meters to the top, but it was 20 meters to the top of the 30% plus. But I thought I was there. But already I'm formulating next year's plan of how I can do it. Reward now for riding up Afon Ddu. Fantastic ridge trail. Looking back down, more wild horses. I think he's wild. Right back into the Conwy Valley. Back where we came from. Into the very impressive Cwm Aegii now. It's a bit of a microclimate going on here. It's definitely clouded over. Clouds are a lot lower on the hills, but we are quite high up. And there's this magnificent old dam wall when there was a huge reservoir in there. But we're going to turn at this point. There's some people wild camping up here. Nice spot. Pretty much way away from civilization. Right into Cwm Aegii. Done some rock climbing up there maybe 20 years ago. But we're turning now and then heading back down the valley before one last big climb up Bwlch a Ddoefen. Into the last of these big climbs now, Bwlch a Ddoefen. The longest, just over 5 kilometers, but the easiest as well. I'm not saying easy, let's say the least hard. But it goes up and up and up, and then follows a lovely stone wall, a little dip down into a valley, over a little lovely stone bridge, and then tops out up on the plateau. Way to go yet. We're heading to Llanfair Fychan, that way. Ooh. Ooh. There's a view. Hard earned. Conwy mountain, famous for its wild horses, and here they are. Well, here's some of them. Often do see them around this bit. There's a baby one up there, a little sleep. Last few K now, a little bit rolling. I'm going to avoid the pub because, as I said, there's a steep climb after it, and that isn't a great idea at this point. back to where we started. That's the first we came through. There's my van down there. Got some beers in the van, so I'll be all right. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that one. Fantastic North Wales off-road cross-country mountain bike route. Lots of hideous climbs, lots of fantastic descents, and some superb views. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Please watch it till the end, and see you all soon on today's ride.